Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe.
Well, hey friends, welcome back to what is seriously the best gingerbread cookies ever, and we're going to jump right into the recipe, so thanks for stopping by. So we're going to mix our wet and dry ingredients separately. For our wet ingredients, you're going to be going with 1 cup of brown sugar and 1.5 cups of unsalted butter. Make sure it's room temperature and soften, and you're just going to go ahead and blend those together, and that of course would be 3 sticks. And we're just going to blend that well. You can do this with the mixer also if you like. I was just going with the flow, so I had a spatula on hand and I used that. Just make sure that it's mixed really well. Next, you're going to go in with 2 large eggs, and guys, you don't have to whisk them ahead of time. You could just add them in. Just make sure that you add them in one at a time and then fold them in evenly. And yeah. Next, we're going to be using the main ingredient, which gives it all of that amazing flavor besides the spices, and that is the molasses. Now guys, you want to go with that old school molasses, the really delicious one, and you want to get that spatula in there or that spoon and get all of that delicious goodness out. Don't leave any in there. You're going to need all of it. And you're just going to mix this really well. Once you have your wet ingredients mixed well, you're going to move on to your dry ingredients. Now for the dry ingredients, please make sure that you use a large bowl, and you're going to be using 5 cups of all-purpose flour. After you get in 5 cups of the all-purpose flour, you're going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of baking soda and also 3/4 teaspoons of salt. And then you're going to go with those great spices. Now it's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, and also a 1/2 teaspoon of the ground cloves, and that's what really gives gingerbread all of that delicious flavor. Now these aren't ginger snaps, these are gingerbread, and guys, these are seriously the absolute best gingerbread cookies you will ever have. Like, I mean the best. Okay, not only are delicious, but they're soft too, and in fact they're so good that whenever I make these, my family and their friends all want me to make them more each year. So it's really becoming a chore, but it's such a great fun time. So I just want to make sure that all of these ingredients are mixed well, so every bite is so delicious. So I'm using a whisk to really get all the dry ingredients really mixed well, and now we're going to go ahead and mix our wet and dry ingredients together, and you just want to make sure that this is mixed well also, guys. So now that we've combined all of our ingredients, you just want to go ahead and make sure that you mix it really well. You can do this with the mixer again, but you don't have to. But I have to say, guys, that this is probably one of the, it's very wet cookie dough. For cookie dough, probably one of the wettest that I make, but no need to worry. You're just going to keep your flour on standby. So this is one of those doughs that you do have to chill before you roll it out. I would recommend putting it on parchment paper. I like to use this trick and use a little bit of flour, and then I go back with my saran wrap, but I do like to sort of basically separate mine and use about half the dough, because it's such a large batch. It doesn't look like it, but once you roll this out, it's a lot of cookies, guys. So I like to basically get mine separated, and the great thing about these is that you can put this dough in the freezer. It freezes really well, and you could just take them out up to a month and use them, so that's pretty great. So now that I have them separated, I'm going to go ahead and get them into the fridge. I usually like for them to stay in the fridge for about 2 hours, and then once they're done and the dough has chilled, then they're all ready to be rolled out. And while you're doing this, make sure that you have either a flour countertop or you have parchment paper, and you're going to roll it out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now here's the fun part. Get your desired shapes that you want to use. This is basically gingerbread, so I'm going to definitely be using my gingerbread cookie cutters. I have some Christmas trees and other shapes, but it's so much fun to do this with the family. And guys, yes, my family was over and we had such a ball making these cookies. Now you want a lined or greased baking sheet. I like to use parchment paper for that. So yeah, basically, but I just want to give you a close-up of how thick it is. It's just a 1/4 of an inch and it's perfect. Just try to make sure that it's even when you roll it out. Now on to the parchment paper and into the oven. It doesn't take long. And you're basically going to bake these for about 8 to 10 minutes, 12 at the most. You can check them. And once they spring back, you know they're done. And you really can't mess these up, guys. Just make sure that before you start decorating them and you do put them on a cooling rack and let them cool on a wire rack. And you can go ahead and frost them, use candy or sprinkles. It's just so much fun. So I gotta say that when I did this, my family was over. We all got together and decorated them. And no, they're not the most perfect cookies in the world, but guys, they taste so great. So you have to excuse the way they look because we did have so much fun and they tried decorating for the first time. And guys, this is so much fun to do with family. So I hope you try these. These are truly and seriously the best, I repeat, the best gingerbread cookies you'll ever make. So guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'll leave the ingredients for this recipe in the description bar below. Don't forget to hit the bell twice so you're notified whenever I upload. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a fun time for the holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from